Hey, welcome back to the world's fastest waiver wire matchup podcast. Blah, blah, blah. No, just playing, but yeah, we're back again. I'm going to try and crank this one out in record time yet again, and we've got 3 less teams playing this week as like a mini buy round. Is it 3? Am I dumb? I feel dumb. Who's on buy? Where's the thingy? Dude, I'm fully blanking. Is it? It's only 3 teams, right? Yeah, 3 teams are out. Yeah. Dude, why would I even doubt myself? Yeah, so less to get through marginally, which is cool. Gonna start off with something real quick, because that's the price you have to pay for having this to your ears and the pickup posts to you well in advance of late tonight. So you guys know I talked about this Oracle News Network. So this is like now got automated injury returning stuff. Yep, Payne's back. Next round, Brados. Appa's not really relevant, but he's coming back, so that's pretty cool. Hot players this round, I've now got it dropping out Origin players. So just because, I mean, a lot of them are named to back up, right, which we'll talk about today, but or a bit later, but I just wanted them to drop out of this hot player. So you can just see guys that weren't really Origin related, so it just kind of shows you a bit of a different tier of talent that's got sort of a nice matchup, gun, elite, favourable, nice projections on the boys. And then what top teams are running, we spoke about, which is really cool. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So what top teams are running is going to get even more accurate and interesting, because for the first time in our sort of rollout of Draft Oracle, you can now connect to Supercoach. There is some little techie steps you have to do, so just follow the little wizard, the instructions. There's pictures if you press them, do it on your computer. Once you like connect initially, that's done, and then you just every now and again have to reconnect. It's pretty easy. So when you sync your roster in League Map now, which is the biggest task in Oracle, it's all can be automated now with sync league rosters. So you press that. You may have seen a reel already if you're following all the content on how it all works, but press sync rosters, show bench, actually, then press sync rosters. All of your opponents guys come in here. Then if you sort best starters, you get like the game ignores like who's on bye, who's injured, blah blah blah. It just goes like who's the highest averaging player, put them in the right positions that they're allowed to be in. Then you read the little ranks down here and like where your team's at. So in the community league, if all my like guys were healthy, I'd apparently be the 2nd on season average and just 3rd on weighted average. And it applies for other people. So now that's automated. So like basically a couple of clicks, and now click a week, you can kind of get your latest thing, or your latest insights. And what that also does is automates the flow into your roster workshop, so you can just bring your new team in if you get waivers. Just sync from SC or do it manually. Manually is really easy for your own roster. But now the waiver scanner, which has been updated, so I'm just looking for a halfback because I've just lost Nico, which I have. I just go halfback. What do I want? Like a balanced? Tell me Ronald Volkman, Tom Duffy. Yep, that makes sense. Short term, is it any different? Joey Walsh on matchup, but he's not even starting system. I need to like tell that he's not starting. That's fine. Midterm, does it change? Yeah, Ronnie comes back to being the best and the best available halfback. Cool. All right, if I want to clean it up, exclude injury affected games, does that change anything? Not really. No, it's just these 3 guys on my waivers in this league, right? So pretty cool stuff. It's super tight. Say I'm looking for CT dub and 2RF upside, and I want short term, remove injury affected. Taruva has the ceiling. Leo, we know. Cotter's a depth, and he's a bit icky. I don't know about that one, but he's playing round 12. Oh, he's played round 12, so it's still valuing round 12, which is a bit silly. So cool, found something to fix. But yeah, you can kind of see how that works, which is pretty cool. So all that is now like automated. Huge step for us as drafters. Now the system can connect. A lot more will become automated. So as a result of that, it shows that next year we can have like full automation. It shows that we can get to matchup manager being automated too, basically. Pretty cool. I mean, when I say automated, you still have to click a button, you still have to set up, but dude, compared to what you previously had to do, it's just a whole new thing. So I'm just so happy, man. It's a big step, and a lot of you guys that have supported me deserve the league map to be a bit easier. There will be a couple of bugs. There'll be a few things to iron out the next couple of days as you do it. That's totally normal when I can only test so far. So if you've got any issues, just find a polite way to contact me, and we'll work together to get it resolved. Now, talking about matchups and team lists, guys, as we do, a little bit different view now with my menu on the side, which is actually a bit annoying. Can I kind of change that? How do I change that? Let me just like, because it doesn't look good here for you guys. I can't like scroll sideways, because I don't want you to have to see all that, distract you. How do I even change that? This crap. Oh, this? Just unlock this and then just go like this. Yeah, okay, cool. Alright, you see this, I'll scroll up, cool. Gun matchups, little origin indicators I've built in this week to kind of just make it a bit easier to understand like who may or may not back up and the risks associated. Nothing too crazy in this list. I'm not going to belabor it. It's a fun one to see why Wong owners like myself are going to need this to hit. Last week wasn't the best week for the matchup engine. Frankly, with the guns, the elites were pretty cool. Here we are with the elites for Reese against the Dragons. It's nice. Karapani gets that Dragons boost as well. Luke Lali'i is actually Dural Skeleton, I think. So that's unfortunate. I thought Luke had been pretty good. So interesting that Benji's gone to Dural there. Maybe Luke's yardage wasn't there. I don't know. I thought he was. Yeah, he scored a few tries. Thought he was a good finisher. I don't know. Maybe defensively. Hamasini Makasini gets a boon coming right back in, which is crazy to get an elite matchup coming back in there. But I don't question the elites too much yet. Satili and then the right to RF. I think that's going to be Xavier Willison. Because I think Piakura goes left, so little machine, don't know who's there just yet. That's fine. Ryan Couchman, bang, got the green, got the elite, nice. Yeah, Reese gets to exploit the full poor thing. Look, Isaiah Ongi gets to benefit on Nui. Yeah, wouldn't read too much into it without Walsh. Don't super trust Iongi there. First game. Not a lot stands out here in terms of my waivers. I don't think I've got anyone from these two teams. Obviously, Lolo, if he's still there, you'll get a couple of weeks. I think Turbo's coming back 16th, so now without Hynes might be a boon for Lolo in what is a tough matchup on paper for him. So the conceding still legit there at 66, so he's all systems go. Lehigh, nice. I think it's neutral, but I'd be backing Lehigh in. Jesse Ramian on matchup, if he's available in leagues, which he will be, he's definitely a guy I can plug in and play. Same as Teague Wilton on matchup. Saying neutral here, but his projection's not too bad. So, yeah, Teague Wilton, I'd be giving him a run. This is actually McInnes, I think, dude, so chuck him in. Left to RF's has been Travojevic. Sorry, I missed him actually. Oh, he's been named, so Ben Travojevic has been named. I thought he had like a head knock, so I think it knocked him out of the engine because I've got a casualty ward linking in there. I'm testing to see how that can automatically knock out injured guys for me, and it's obviously grab Ben Travojevic on the HIA. He might be on the casualty ward, and they've named him. He might need to pass stuff, and my little system's kicked him out, which is all good. Yeah, not much else to mention there. If we look at the next game, Marju with the gun, Dylan Brown as well with the gun, which is crazy. Brownie just traded him away, and now I've lost my halfback, so that's always a risk when it comes to making draft trades. Iongi's back if he's available. I notice it's like 55-60% or something ownership, so if he is available, you have to grab him just as a trade asset and as a startable guy in many matchups. Decent buy coverage for Iongi too, which is always good. I thought Jermaine McEwen's worth a pick up and play like a plug-in this week just on matchup. Favourable matchups are always good. There's a big opportunity there. It's not Jack Williams here at left to RF. It's actually Kautonga. He is also someone in deep leagues that can kind of return decent upside. He's got an offload on him, basically, is all. Volkman takes over. Should kick as well with Moses out. So Volkman is someone you can grab. I don't really want to waiver for him. Hynes owners, yeah, I think he's done enough maybe to justify a waiver if you're loose with it. If you're like me and you'd probably rather climb and live with someone else, then yeah, you can. I wouldn't force you to waiver for him. Brian Kelly has the matchup. Grab him, I think, for a plug and play if you're looking for a CTW matchup. Same as Josh Adokar, but the Knights could just run rampant here. This is actually Fletcher Hunt, I believe. Who else in this game? Just check my little list for you guys. Spoke about Josh Adokar, spoke about Karapani, Brian Kelly, Jesse Ramin, Makasini, that's fine. Ayongi, Kautonga, we spoke about. Talon Silva, if he's available as a hooker, he's a great plug and play. Decent matchup there, making it favourable, which is good. Oh, I hadn't got to Tigers, so I must have jumped the gun. Why was I talking about that? Makasini, oh, was it up here? Yeah, it was up here. So, well, let's touch on it right now. We got, Makasini. Wouldn't really touch Tavana. Wouldn't really be keen to touch Skelton. Jethro Rinakama is playable for sure in this one. It says avoid, but he's definitely playable. Cherry Tuala on matchup. Montoya I wouldn't touch, but Cherry and Tuala I think in deeper leagues totally viable as like final CT dubs rotationally. If you're short due to buy rounds and stuff, you could definitely get on them and hope for the best there. Don't think much else stands out to me out of these two. Tupanua keeps doing it. Salmon's gone to second row. Hayes to lock, which is odd. Hayes could maybe do a job. I don't think Hayes is FRF viable though, and therefore I don't really care for him as a 2RF. But if he is FRF eligible, if he is, just check me on that, then he could maybe do a job. I just don't know about the minutes, that's all. Melbourne Roosters. Is there anything here? No, not in this one necessarily. Billy Smith, definitely playable though. Just based on the gun matchups at centre and fullback, I think Smith, the conceding, I think he's definitely... He might hit some upside. And he's a ball hog. So when he's on wing, he benefits enough to pass it. Ramsey, playable for sure in this. Melbourne side, not really as keen. Alec McDonald, don't think you get the minutes. Trent Liero, maybe in a pinch. He's sort of backing up from Origin. I don't know what his Origin role will be, so few question marks there. I don't really know who does and doesn't back up from here. Farlongo could do worse as sort of a VC captain on him. If you've got guys playing the later rounds there, Farlongo, I don't mind it. Moses Leo, I can't personally trust him, but someone else might. Next game's a bit more juicy with Reese and Karapani. Shibasaki, I couldn't do it, but he's got the matchup, dude. So does Karapani. I can't trust any of those guys, but they've got the matchup. But there's the other side, Stagsy and Arthurs don't. But I mean, Arthurs does actually, he just haven't had the production out of that wing spot. But he's got the conceding line up there, so definitely think Arthurs is a go. Willison on the edge just isn't that great, but he does have the matchup, so bear that in mind if you're making a choice between him and someone that's maybe a bit worse. Willison does have statistically the opportunity. You're always playing your Dragons forwards, they're just base beasts, so you're always playing them, that's cool. Toby doesn't have the matchup, but he'll do his job, which is great. Payne Haas is back, he's similar, he'll do a job. With the props worth mentioning, sometimes the scores are quite low for them. That's why I don't really talk about them much, because there's two props on the field at a time. They play blended in the middle. They don't just play like the left side props. It's hard to kind of categorize them individually. So what I do is just double the score and halve it, which actually works. That's why the scores are a bit. That's why you say matchup 48 or something. How does he have a low matchup as a premier FRF? Well, whoever the other prop is drags him down a bit. So we look at conceding on average, a bit more reliable of an indicator, but generally middle forwards I should say, I don't give much credence to there, or I don't really put too much stock in any forward matchups except edge back row matchups, okay, because of just the nature of the way footy is played through the middle, and tackles and the leakiness and stuff's hard to judge through the middle as it is on the edge, where it's a bit more consistent. They kind of have shape and defensive tendencies and whatnot, so just bear that in mind with props and whatnot. Not a big deal. Cowboys, Canberra. 2 Cowboys. Touch on Liam Sutton finally scored. Hopefully he gets some confidence and runs more, not less as a result of that, which is good. He's reliable. He's like a guy I can play. I just wouldn't waiver for him at all. But a guy I want to touch on is Thomas McKaylee. So I've been kind of spruiking the McKaylee magic in the Discord. It just passes the eye test, looks immense out there, looks really good. I think he's only going to get better. His minutes are up and down. When he plays big minutes, he can deliver quite nicely. His PPM's there, but then he's had games with low minutes that have hurt him where the PPM wasn't there, and then blah, back and forth. So just a bit risky, but it's what you want in a front row too, off waivers or off free agencies, is a guy that scores 40 or scores 70. that's fine. So McKaylee, I think this might be the last week I can recommend him from an ownership percentage, because I think after a 71 he's got a few bigger scores now. I assume he'll get snapped up. I don't think the Cowboys buy coverage is that great now that they've played 12, so his value might be limited, so maybe don't waiver for him. That's probably my advice on McKaylee. And Sutton, interesting, not waiverable. Big one I touched on earlier, I want to reiterate, is Iongi. If he's available, grab him. Last game, just going to be not sure about Penrith. Alamotti is on the wing actually in place of like To'o currently, but I think a few of those. I think Casey McLean will come in if he doesn't play. Yeah, he'd have to. It's a big break. I think Ivan will say something to the effect of like, huge week for a young player to be in the media cycle for Origin, but if he doesn't take the field physically, his nervous system obviously goes through the stress and the anxiety of Origin without taking the field. I think he probably comes in. To'o, not so sure. Cleary, not so sure. But again, Sunday, tough game against the Warriors. But they've got the wins in the bank. I couldn't tell you. I'd be hedging against the more veteran players. Casey, I think, probably comes in, to be honest. I know Capel, they're saying, isn't backing up though. Nor is Barnett, I'm pretty sure. So this is good for Jackson Ford and Aaron Clark, who have the elite and gun match up there. I don't trust Ali Leatua. That is over if you can't do it against the Dragons. I don't really want a bar of you. Khan Pereira keeps doing it though himself, which is sick. And Tane has been good. Tane has sort of started to deliver. It's a slow ramp up, which meant he was available, man, for a while because he just wasn't doing much. I mean, the draft diehards would have been all over him. Everyone sweated on him, but yeah, he didn't do a heap, and now he's doing a bit. So that's awesome for people that got on the Tane show. The right to RF against Talangi's big. Yeah, but that's it. So waivers, we spoke about Talon De Silva, McKaylee, Dylan Egan, Katonga, Wilton on matchup, McEwen on matchup, Liam Sutton, Volkman-ish if available. Centre wing, it was Josh Adokar on matchup, Karapani on matchup data, Brian Kelly on matchup data, Jesse Ramian on matchup data, Hamasi Makasini on matchup data, Billy Smith on matchup data. So pick your poison. Iongi if available. Falita Tavani dude on the Tigers is Falatino Tavani. He's fullback eligible. I couldn't really rely on him. I'm not touching Puru or whoever's coming in for Nicho Hynes. Fal Lolo, he'll be owned in most leagues, but if he's available, he's a fair shout in your CTW as a fullback. Cooler got Jewel. You could trade for Cooler this week. We don't know if he'll back up on Thursday, so a great risk to the owner. Give him a fair deal and say, grab me Cooler. Give me Cooler if he's not going to back up, blah, blah. He's a guy that's going to play. It's a good way to get him. Jesse Ramian, I don't know if I did mention him, sorry. So yeah, a few names for you guys to toss over. Here's the matchups. Remember, if you haven't checked out the Draft Oracle, please check it out. It has so many features now, as well as the connection automation, which makes life just easier. The newsroom on your dashboard's super cool. That's only going to get better as I spend more time thinking what I can exploit from the intelligence layer within the Draft Oracle, and even the community, if they've got ideas, shout them at me, because now we're getting intra-league intelligence, which is just super cool. And now it's going to get even more, because people like me, I managed one league in depth on Oracle, and the other league I didn't manage through Oracle too deeply. Now I can manage them both in depth, because the automation of league map, just game changer. So yeah, man, enjoy. Thanks for watching. If you get any value out of this or appreciate the timely uploads, please give it a like and a comment. That just kind of boosts it that little bit more in the algo. I don't think the algo likes me that much, but whatever. So yeah, give it a like. If you like short form, snappy image content, I am on Instagram each week, putting like pretty much what you'd expect on there. I'll just share screen so you can kind of see, because I know some people really like the Instagram stuff. So I'll open this up and just show you the feed so you can get a bit of a look. So this is my little Instagram, SC Draft Oracle, just to kind of maybe get eyes on new stuff. So this is the sort of thing I put up as early as I can. Oh, sorry, this is an accountability post. So similarly, so say like tonight after this video, I'll upload this version for this week, but I say under 45% owned, who to get. So I said grab Tamari Martin. This is the accountability. So here's the tick. Here's me running through the gun matchups, tick, tick, cross, cross. Pauses like if that player didn't play, but the other player scored decently, blah, blah, blah. Elites did real good this week, which was nice. Clayton Failolo, 2 weeks. I recommended him, like 3 weeks ago now. So if anyone listened to me and got on, they benefited. So that's why this type of content's good. Hosking hit, Aitken hit, Setu 2 actually hit in the sense he scored and got like to his average. Dylan Egan hit and is just still a guy to grab. Sean Bloor missed big, Ali missed big, that's fine, you got to put your misses up. There's a couple of reels here, me talking about new features. That's the matchups from last week. I let you know that there's a new article on Substack. I do any like waiver wire that I do like last week, I'll just post there so I can get up on the story, so you can see you got the defense map here as well to look at. Yeah, on stories I do a bit of story stuff where I talk about stuff. We'll put trades up there, so if you do like Instagram stuff for like getting your insights just onto your phone and links to my YouTube off your phone, blah blah, definitely just check out at sc.draftoracle, give it a follow, like the posts, blah blah blah. Alright, that's it from me. Enjoy, good luck with your waves and free agencies. If you're in the Discord or the Substack, let me know your questions. I'm there tonight to answer them and to support you. That's the point of the Substack. So if you're not sure, you're tossing up between two guys, let me have it and we can chat it out. But yeah, good luck. See ya.